let's go back a little bit because you have a very interesting story, right? For people that aren't like familiar with your story, like you had, Ex-Con to Icon, the book. I remember seeing that because I've seen your content since the early 2010s, right? One of the first big fitness influencers. But let's go back to like why you went to prison in the first place and like your upbringing and stuff. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Where you grew up and
of course.
What led to you going to jail the first time?
Yeah. So I grew up in a middle class home. My mom was a nurse. My stepdad was a
Wait, a nurse?
My mom was a nurse. Oh, that's
there you go.
So yeah, my pops, my stepfather had his own auto body shop. My birth dad, my biological, he was a Jim Jones survivor.
Oh,
Jonestown Massacre survivor.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you look up my birth name, it's Chuck Kirkendall, and I'm a junior. I changed my name in 2009 to Kali Muscle Kirkendall. And so, grew up in a middle-class home. Moms had and pops had like 3, 4, 5 cars at a time. We had the best-looking house.
Nice. This is in California?
Yeah, Oakland, California.
Oakland, California.
Yeah.
This is the 80s, 70s at this point?
So, yeah, in the 80s. I was born 75.
Okay.
So this was the 80s. My neighborhood was a big drug area. Kids 12 years old had Mercedes Benzes.
Oh, shit.
No way.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So I grew up in this era, dressing nice, looking nice, big donkey chains, and and so my problem happened because my mother didn't believe in giving the money. And so I became an avid gambler or whatever, shooting dice and things like that. And so I went to high school, and I wanted to be like my older brother. He was 4 years older than me, a genius, 4.5 student. He ended up going to Cal Poly San Luis Obispo on an engineering scholarship. And so I was Mr. Everything. I was a senior class president, graduated 3.83 overall GPA in the newspaper for sports, football, wrestling, track. And what happened my senior year...
So this is 1993 now, fast forwarding. Roughly.
Right. So 1993, my senior year, my brother committed suicide.
Okay.
That changed me. I went dark. I was a youth pastor, believed in God, preached God, and I stopped believing in God, kind of, when that happened. Okay. Yeah. And I went...
How did he pass? Like, was it natural causes?
Nah, he shot himself, killed himself, suicide.
Wow. Okay.
And this was my everything. He was my idol, and so I went dark. I was on my way to Fresno State with a full academic athletic scholarship. So I went to school with a chip on my shoulder, angry.
What sport did you play?
Football. I got recruited for football to Fresno State.
Boom.
And so...
you said you went dark?
Yeah, I went like... to the point where I just had tunnel vision.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Everything, nothing else mattered. I just was working out, training for football, and I'm like, I'm going to the NFL if it killed me.
I thought you meant darker than me.
Come on, what's this?
Hey, man.
Fresh, you blacker, man.
Oh, my hand darker than yours?
Yeah, okay, a little bit, yeah.
I don't know about that. That's that Miami sun being that face me.
So you really you start grinding, went to school.
Yeah, I went to Fresno and got in a financial bind and asked my coach, asked my mother. They denied me, and I had a pistol laying around, and the devil got in my head. And
so this is what, 94, 95 now?
This
is
is 94.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was in college a year and a half. I was in my sophomore year of college.
Yeah.
So the devil got in my head, and I went.
19 years old now.
Yeah, 19. Went on a robbery spree by myself, and end up going on a run. And my parents like, you go on a run the rest of your life, or you can deal with it young. So I turned myself in back to Fresno.
How many people did you rob at this point? Like, did you rob stores? Did you rob people individually?
No, just people at the ATMs.
Okay, so they go there, ATM, you just pop up out of nowhere. Hey,
exactly.
clean out your account.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, and I got the idea of that from watching the news as a kid.
Okay.
Critiquing, and I could see how people are to critique the news and think you know how to do a crime or whatever. And
how many robberies did you do before the police started catching up to you?
I just did a few, like 3.
3? Okay.
Nothing made it. It was like I didn't know what the hell I was. You know, God was spanking me, you know, immediately. And I'm glad for it. So I end up catching the case for armed robbery, fighting it in county jail, Fresno County, end up taking it to trial, losing.
Oh, shit. Okay.
And so they end up giving me 7 years. And I was institutionalized, bro, my first week in prison. I was already swole, 190, so everybody was looking at me as a shot caller. So I loved the power. And people ask me, you know, how did you like prison? Because my life was structured. Football, wrestling, track, church, go to college, in the fraternity, Alpha Phi Alpha. And it was just my whole life was structured. So when I got to jail, I'm like, oh, I felt like I belonged there. It was weird. Yeah.
Because you were already used to waking up early and having lunch at this time, dinner at this time, working out this time, all that.
Yeah.
So how did you acclimate to being in prison in California, which, please correct me if I'm wrong, the 90s was a different time, where it's like, from what I understand, the California state prison system is run by gangs and colored, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you're black, you're with the blacks. If you're Latino, you're with the Latinos. If you're white, with the whites. And then gangs, obviously, California is the birthplace of the modern day, you know, gangs we know today, Bloods, Crips, etc.
Exactly.
Like, how do you navigate that as a guy that wasn't really a street guy? You were educated, you went to school, you know, you just made a couple robberies here. How'd you navigate that and kind of keep yourself out of getting stabbed or shanked or?
California prisons are easy.
Okay.
You just got to play your cards. So I went in as a Muslim.
Okay.
I started practicing Islam.
Okay.
And so I learned how to read and write Arabic like in 60 days. So they made me a mir already. I was a 19 going on 20. I was like the top dog. I was as swole as they had seen already. And I just had that presence of a leader. Okay. And so I went to prison as a mir. So when I got to Delano State Prison, I was a top dog. And, you know, I did Juma services, everything.
Okay.
And so, so I did that for 3 years. And
Do you think being a convert, like that kept you away from a lot of the bullshit and the gang activity? And then obviously your size as well?
No, you have a choice. As a black guy in prison, especially I was from the Bay Area, but I was in Southern California prisons. I was from the North. And so, so prison is for blacks. If you mind your business, you can go, ain't nobody gonna press you. You know, but for other races, white, Mexican, you gotta join up.
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta join up.
Yeah.
So yeah, blacks, we have it easier than other races.
Were there any like booty warriors in the jail?
So, you know, it's funny, I hear all those stories.
Yeah.
I never heard of nobody getting I never heard nobody screaming in the cell.
So California isn't as bad as they say. If you stick to yourself,
and
obviously you're a Muslim, and then you are like a religious leader as well, and you're educated, so people are going to respect you more because you're not like a bumbling moron like a lot of the people that are in prison, and you were big, so they didn't want to mess with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah.
So were you cool? Like, were you just neutral? Like the Latinos, the black gangs, the white gangs, etc. Like you just were neutral. You were like cordial with everybody. Nobody fuck with you.
So what happened was nobody messed with me. I never had no problems, bro.
No fights, no stabbing, none.
No,
of that.
yeah, eventually once I became a gang leader.
Oh,
so
tell us about that.
So I went from a Muslim. I got to San Quentin and I seen they was fake. They was doing dope. They was messing with, or whatever. And so I'm like, all my friends I grew up with was in this gang called Kumi 415.
Okay.
So they was begging me, man, come on over here and run this. You know what I mean? Like, we don't have no good leaders. And so I was like, you make me a shot caller with a high ranking position, I will. And so I ended up going to the hole, and I transferred over from being practicing Islam to running this gang. They gave me a high ranking position. And that's when all hell broke loose. Okay. Like, I was dealing with, these guys doing drugs. They just into everything. And so, so I became the shot caller of Kumi 415, and that's when we were getting the riots. That's a black gang, right? Yeah. It's a spinoff from Black Guerrilla Family, BGF, and Black Panthers.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so the founders were Black Panthers, and then they because BGF was so hardcore and coming down on blacks, they like, oh, we need a spinoff to save the ones that's not a part of the BGF.
Okay.
So that's what I became a part of.
How often were you getting in fights at this point? Because obviously there's going to be a target on your back if you're the top guy. Right?
So the top guy didn't let you know he was the top guy.
Okay.
That was like our thing. So you would never see me in meetings. You would never see me grouped up with the guys. So, cause we was looked at, these was OG Black Panthers. Mm-hmm. So they knew how to structure. They like, nah, the head dude, never be seen with these guys. Don't congregate and meet with them or nothing. So I was, cause in prison, like you say, take the head off, the body will fall.
Yeah,
that
right.
was the ideology. And so, I was good with that. And I would even act like I'm just a regular sometime. Like I'm a regular foot soldier or whatever, But I'm just being honest, it was fun.
Really? Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah. I was young, swole, had a ton of power, and prison was fun.
Shit.
And so, that's why I went back about 4 times after.
Did you get in a lot of fights? Like, how many fights did you get in
I didn't get in many. So only time I got in a fight is when I wanted to set an example with my own.
Okay.
Well, like if they bucking the rules, and when I did that, it was a friend of mine.
So you beat up a member?
And it would be my friend.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, stabbed or beat up or whatever, because I had to let people know, it's crazy because they be like, you calling shots, but you ain't put in no work.
Yeah.
So they'll start looking at you like that. So I always, probably once a year, did something stupid to let them know that I put in work or whatever. Yeah. So it was something else, man.
So you go in first in 93, 94.
94.
94, because you committed the crimes in 93. You go to trial, lose.
I did it in 94. Committed 94.
The crimes in 94. Went to trial, all that within a year.
Yeah.
Boom, you're in. And then you said you got 7 years?
Uh-huh.
Did you do all 7?
I did all 7.
Straight?
Straight.
No
94
behavior,
to
nothing?
2001.
Damn.
Because San Quentin, it was so much fun popping up. I'm going to the hole all the time. And
so you ended up like...
I was in there with Jeffrey Dahmer.
Keep me in here.
What was that?
So,
what,
Night
you said
Stalker,
Jeffrey Dahmer?
No,
what?
Not Jeffrey.
Oh.
Night Stalker was in a cell right next to me.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Richard Ramirez.
Well, yeah, Richard Ramirez.
Yo.
Well, yeah.
What
yeah,
the
that's
fuck?
my biggest story with San Quentin, man. I was next to him, and I had goosebumps the whole damn time.
I got some questions on that. For those that are unaware, who he's talking about, guys, was the Night Stalker from the 1980s. Not the Golden State Killer, the original Night Stalker. The Night Stalker that they have the Netflix series on. Richard Ramirez, who killed a bunch of people. And he was a strange serial killer because he killed them with, like, guns, knives. He used anything that was in the house. He used a lot of tools in the house. And actually, like, gun sales, I think in the summer of 1980 in Los Angeles, like, soared because everyone was terrified of this fucking guy.
Yeah.
So you were in with him. Did you ever meet him? Did you ever talk to him? Did you ever?
Well, he was in the cell right next to me, and he was just different. He just pacing in the circle, just talking to himself and shit.
Really?
Well, yeah. Had a harem of women. Like 50 bras would come see him at a time.
Yo, it's real. That's facts. No,
it's
because when he went to trial, right? There were girls in the fucking courtroom going crazy. Him, Ted Bundy, etc. And this dude was sick. Like, he killed kids, all this shit.
Yeah.
But like back then, like, they used to like sensationalize serial killers.
What's that term again? Called for people that like killers like that?
There's a term, and only women have it.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Rollo Tomasi.
Hybristophilia.
What? Hybristophilia.
Oh,
There you
okay,
go.
yeah.
Only women are attracted to that shit.
That's
It's
so
not men.
weird, bro.
Like dangerous individuals like
Hold
that.
on. Was he smaller than you? Was he like small, frail, or was he like?
No, he was frail as hell.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he was frail, pale, the most palest human I ever saw.
Tall, right? Like 6'1", 6'2", but very thin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Looked like a fucking 1980s rock star. Long hair, all that shit.
Exactly.
So nobody like beat him up?
Yeah. So he went to the yard when I was in the hole. Because what they did, when they put the people that went to the hole in with the death row inmates.
Oh,
yeah. On East Block. It's called East Block. And and I met Tookie up in there before they executed Tookie Williams. So, yeah, it was a hell of an experience. I had to learn Swahili while I was in the hole because the blacks only spoke Swahili.
Tookie Williams, the creator of the Crips.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So
was
you were in
still
with
there.
some people.
Oh yeah. it was popping.
So, so Richard Ramirez, he was sitting next to you. You said girls would come and visit him all the time.
Oh yeah, every visit, like 3-4 times a week.
Was it white girls, black girls, Asian girls?
White.
White. Had to be white.
Yeah. It had to be.
Just saying,
So,
bro.
and you said he got
crazy.
beat up. Like, what'd he get beat up for mostly?
So what happened was he went to the yard the first time in his being there, like in 10 years.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
Because they probably kept him and did they keep him in ISO or whatever?
Nah.
He
He
was
had
a
a
general
choice.
pop.
Yeah, he had a choice of going to. So in a death row in the hole, it's like a cell, like it's like a cage, maybe as big as this room,
Okay.
where they let the death row inmates go at one time if they want to go to the yard, and they could, do push-ups and work out and talk. So he took his chance. He took his shot. He went out there, and they got on him immediately. Stuck him a few times.
They stabbed him, punched him. Okay. So
Yeah.
they were basically waiting for him because he killed kids. He kidnapped kids. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He actually left one of the. If you watch that documentary with the Night Stalker, the first victim, the witness that comes in and tells her story, she was a kid when he kidnapped her. She actually survived. He kidnapped her from her. Yeah. He broke it. That's why they call him the Night Stalker. He'd break into the house. He kidnapped her, brought her back to his place. A couple days, then he actually let her live. So, yeah.
What's wrong with these people, man?
Bro, serial killers, man. They're on different timing.
So he got tampered with as a kid, right?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
I think so.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So they ended up catching him. They caught him off of a New Balance sneaker, if I'm not mistaken. He had bought a very unique pair of sneakers, and it was a 10.5. And the detectives were able to figure out what store he bought it from, what day he bought it from, based on the make of it, because he left a footprint of this sneaker. And they were tracing back to that purchase because I think he had used a credit card or something like that to buy it, and that's one of the ways they identified him.
Even back then, huh?
Yeah.
Yo, I ain't never wear no more New Balance, bro. Fuck that shit, nigga. Shit,
Yeah.
Shit,
That, and then also witness that because he had really bad teeth and really bad hygiene, one of the things that a lot of the victims remembered was his fucking like smell too. And a dirty ass AC/DC hat.
guys, work on your hygiene, man.
Yeah, man. You get caught like Richard Ramirez. But that's fucking crazy that you were locked up with him. Did you ever speak a word to the guy or no?
No.
Never?
Hell no.
So he would just pace around. So basically, he'd pace around in his room, talk to himself, come visit him.
Well.
Are conjugal visits allowed in California? They are, right?
Yeah. Yeah. As long as you don't have no spousal abuse or anything alone that beating a woman or something like that.
Like crimes of domestic violence.
Right.
Can you explain to the people real quick what conjugal visits are? Because like this is.
Oh yeah. So that's like if you married or get married, they let you go. I believe it's every 4 months. You can go on a date with your wife in a room for about 3 days, 2 to 3 days. And make love. You can make love, have a baby.
Really? Yeah, it's something that only a few states have it. It's conjugal visits. It's only available at the state level. The feds don't allow it. California is one of the few states that allows it. So, interesting. So he probably had conjugal visits with all these chicks.
No, he couldn't.
He couldn't because he wasn't married to them.
He was on death row.
Yeah, you're right.
Well.
And then you said, what was it like? Did you ever talk to Tukey Williams?
No, I just seen him walk in the yard. And, I seen him walk in the yard. Everybody get quiet. They go Tukey.
No
but it was a whole lot of other cats that, were weird too. A lot of other big names that was there.
Did anyone try Tukey when you were there? Or
no, hell
right?
no.
Yeah, they know better.
Damn.
Well,